Your opinion counts, so I'm going to ask you to give it to me today. Welcome to the Hack Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Barnes, bringing you right now solutions to some of your biggest teaching and learning problems. Now, let's hack learning. I got out my bed early this morning. Down the road I go. Today in session 76 of the Hack Learning Podcast, I'm going to ask you for your opinion. What could be better than that? And then I'm going to make you a promise. If you share your opinion with me, and if you ask for something, if you say, I'd rather have this than that, I'd like more of that than this, I will give it to you. So today we're hacking professional development. We've done this before, but it's important to me because I want you to know I'm paying attention. So weekly, we provide the Hack Learning Podcast, and one of the things I do faithfully, as I'm guessing most podcasters do, is I check the statistics. I look to see how many plays there are. And just to get a little technical, a play is like a download, but the difference is a play isn't necessarily a download. Now, if you listen to the Hack Learning Podcast as a subscriber, first, thank you. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe because then you never miss it. As a subscriber, it shows up in your feed. You have a podcast tool on your device, and when a new episode goes live, you get pinged. You get a little message that says there's something new from Hack Learning, and you have it right there. You don't have to go to the internet or any place else. It's on your app. A play means you may be listening to this because you came to hacklearning.org. Maybe you're on the show notes page. For this one, it would be hacklearning.org/survey. And maybe you came here and you saw that there's this cool survey that you're going to take, I'm sure, but you clicked play and you're listening to the podcast there. That's a play. So just a little clarification there. There you go. We're hacking the podcast as well today. You're learning a little bit about podcasting and statistics. So weekly, I want to know who's listening. We're very obsessive about numbers in the blogging, podcasting, book publishing world. Numbers are important, right? The more you have, the better in many cases, right? We think if a lot of people are listening, that's great. Well, for me, I think if one person listens, it's phenomenal. And if I could make a difference in one person with any episode of the Hack Learning Podcast, then I feel like I have really accomplished something great. So for you, the individual, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll get something out of this. What you will get, if you do one simple thing, if you're listening on your device, if you're in your car, if you're on a treadmill, if you're in a waiting room, then at some point when you have an opportunity to get back to the internet, what I'm going to ask you to do is to go to hacklearning.org/survey, and you'll bring up the show notes page, the show notes page for this particular episode. So now you could listen to it again, or you could go there and you can just click survey. There's going to be a link to a survey. And what I want you to do is just a few short questions, and the questions are about how you like to learn, what you want as a professional. How do you like to grow? Do you like blogs? Do you like podcasts? Do you like books? Do you like ed camps, presentations live? What is it? So I'm going to give you an opportunity to say that. It'll be really brief. It won't take you long at all, a few minutes, maybe less. And you'll just be clicking. Really, though, what I think is important, and this might take you longer, is in that survey you'll find an area where you can answer. You could type something in and a response. So I'm going to ask you something really specific to provide something specific about, let's start right here at the Hack Learning Podcast. Say, what would you like more of? What would you like less of? If there was one thing that you would like the Hack Learning team to hack, one problem you'd like solved the way we do it, to say, here's a fresh approach, and here is what you can do tomorrow. Because people love that about Hack Learning books. They love the idea that we have some of the best professionals in the world, really experts at their craft. And what they do is say, here's a problem that we know exists, and here's a hack, something you maybe haven't thought of that will solve that problem for you. And then best of all, we're going to give you what you can do tomorrow. So here are steps. You don't have to wait. We don't need a 5-year plan. We hate the 5-year plan. Do they have a place? Sure. But what we want is something we can do tomorrow. I want you to give me something that I can do tomorrow. I want you to take this survey at hacklearning.org/survey. The show notes will come up. You'll see a link to this podcast, but you will see a link to a very brief survey. There's some multiple choice items there about your growth, what you want more of. See, we're coming into a new year at the time of this show. It was in the end of 2016. We're heading to 2017, and I want to make you better. It's all about giving, truly. I want to make you better. Now, we're going to publish books, and we're going to ask you to buy them, as we always do. So you might say, oh, you just want to make more money. Not true. We do want to be sustainable. We want to sustain the Hack Learning series. But more important than that, we want you to drive that, to say, I need this. So you'll find a question on the survey specifically about books. What would you like to read? What is something, if you said, man, I've got this problem and I just don't know how to solve it, and I would like for someone who has experience to tell me how to solve it and to give me some practical steps that I can implement right away, and then to sort of help me build capacity so the problem doesn't come back. Maybe to show me who else has done it. We call that the hack in action. So I'd like that. But I also want you to tell me about this podcast. You're listening, you're invested. I appreciate that so much. But I want to know what you would like to have that maybe you don't get from this podcast. I love when people message me, email me, tweet at me, and say, hey, I listen to Hack Learning Podcast, on my way to work, and I love it. I was listening to this on the treadmill, and man, it's so great, and I love what you do. It's always nice to have validation and for people to say, hey, what you do is good. But more important than that, I want you to say, I need more, Mark. I need more of this. I need more of that. Tell me what you want more of. You tell me what you want less of. Now, if you say I want less Mark Barnes, then you're going to have to just stop listening. But we don't want that, so I'm hoping that's not what you say. What would you like more of in the coming year and moving forward from the Hack Learning Podcast? What would you like from Hack Learning in general? Give us some feedback. Take the survey. It's very, very short. You can always leave comments on the show notes page. You can tweet at us at #HackLearning. And you can talk to us on the Facebook page. You can find that on Facebook by looking for Hack Learning. It's also at facebook.com/hacklearning-series. So check us out. Please go to hacklearning.org/survey. Take the survey. Let us know what you think. Your opinion matters. Hack Learning is for you. It's about you, and you deserve a voice. Let's do that survey. hacklearning.org/survey, and let's make today, tomorrow, and next year better. As always, we continue the conversation at #HackLearning on Twitter and on the show notes page at hacklearningpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.